What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Tangents Podcast. This is the 100th episode of the Tangents Podcast.
1 million.
My name is Dolly Boy. This is Hottest. Hottest. I just saw a clip on Facebook. Was it Reels? Is it Reels on Facebook? Whatever the fuck it's called on Facebook.
It's something like that.
And the question is simple. It was asked to Keanu Reeves, of all people.
Oh, okay. Keanu Reeves. Okay.
What do you think happens when we die?
Ooh.
That's the only topic we're doing. We're just gonna go right the fuck into it.
Ooh.
I hope this is your first episode of Tangents.
I know, right? um.
Can I tell you his? Can I tell you what his answer was?
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious.
This was asked by Stephen Colbert. I don't know when. This looks recent. He looks like he's got the Matrix haircut. He said he paused.
It's probably why he asked him.
He paused in that Keanu Reeves way.
Yeah.
And then he said, "I know the people that love us will miss us."
Damn good answer.
Right. Strong fucking answer.
God.
Strong fucking answer.
That man is.
Hey, Logitech, can you fucking
that man is a G. I wouldn't even think, man. That's why I got to give that guy props, man. Like, he's a kind human being, and he can come up with some dope ass answers. And because shit, I would have never.
Yeah. Right. That's a good, strong fucking answer.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with him 100%.
Right.
I know for a fact, maybe some people will miss us. Maybe. Man,
since it's a different
okay, so
special episode, I'm going to change the color.
Since he answered it that way,
we're going to go
I can't answer it that way because he already did, so I can't.
Right.
It's just, how you going to do that?
No, so let's just take that and go a little more general, a little more broad.
More general, yeah. Like, do you have, does your soul go to heaven? Does your
what do you think happens? First of all, do you think that there is an afterlife?
Okay, so the logical thought processing, I believe what I see me. No, I believe we die and we dead.
Okay.
But there's two versions of me. I know this sounds weird. It's like, oh, this motherfucker says there's two versions. He's crazy. He's insane. He's absurd. Oh no, it's gonna be like those Karens on videos where they talk complete utter garbage nonsense. No, they're just once again, this goes back to what we were talking about in the previous podcast, which is, being able to think more than one way. Like, would it be great if I just had one answer for this? Yeah, it'd be fucking fantastic, but I don't. One part of me says we're just dead. They burn us, put us to the ground, whatever. That's it. Bob's your uncle. There is another part of me that believes in. I do, for some weird reason. I don't know why. I do believe in reincarnation, but not more like the movie Infinite, like as in you come back as another being, not as you come back as a dog or a cat or a roach or whatever. You come back as another being.
Right.
I do believe, for some reason, there's like a bit of me that for some reason wants to believe in that. Not saying that you remember your previous life or anything like that, but that if it is a soul, if there is this thing we call, or people tend to call a soul, if there is one, I don't believe it goes to this thing called heaven, and that's where we get to it's either heaven or hell depending how you
Right.
live. In no reality, there's not many people that are going to heaven. So if you want to be fucking real about it, most of us are going to hell. If you want to get real technical, real, most of us are assholes. Most of us are going to hell. Even the ones that are like, no, I'm a good person, I'm going to hell. No, you're most likely going to hell because there's a shitty part of you that you're not recognizing that's there. um no, I think there's two of those thinkings. It's either we nothing, it's not a, because I got to see it or believe it type of deal. But there has been moments where I've had, like, I think I've talked to you about it. I've had these like dreams where they don't feel like dreams, man. They feel like I lived that life. Like it's weird. I can't explain it. Like, if I've had dreams, I've had where like I've even realized that I'm in a dream. Like, I'm like, oh, this is like in the dream, I realize I'm in a dream. But then there are some dreams where I'm just like, no, that was me. Like, that was a life. I just don't know which life, but
Okay.
that was something I did. Um, and so because I've had those weird dream experiences, makes me want to believe that, it's one of two things, right? It's either reincarnation or maybe something like experiencing an alternate universe type of thing, right? An alternate reality of yourself. Um, so it kind of like plays in those two kind of areas, right? Maybe an alternate reality or reincarnation. But then there's the practical me that's like, we're just these materials that once they go away type of deal. And
There is always that possibility.
so but it's hard to say, because you always want to be more on the like, man, maybe there is more after you go. But then sometimes, like, if you just think logically, it's like, or at least what science shows, you kind of you'd be hard pressed to not say, like, you died. You hopefully some people miss you,
Right.
and hopefully you've done something to leave something good behind for at least the people in your life, if not maybe to better humanity somehow. And that's it. You fucking it's next person's time.
Next
Uh,
person's turn.
um, but that's, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of that's
I
kind of the dual process for me.
I have what many would probably view as conflicting perspectives on this. On one hand, I can't even figure how long. Like, I've forever, like one of those when you say I've been doing this forever. Like, I've been doing it long enough that I don't remember when I started doing it.
Right.
I always refer to, if I'm ever talking about like God in some sort of divine sense,
Sure.
I always just I always imagine like a scientist like dropping like the single catalyst thing into a beaker and then just closing it and just watching that shit happen. Right. God, through that first lightning bolt that created the atmosphere that made it livable on Earth. And
Right.
it's just taking notes, seeing what the fuck the little infection that he created does.
I mean,
You
listen,
know?
like, I've said this, like, do I believe in God? Like, kind of. Like, I don't 100% believe in God, but like what I believe in is way different than most people believe in, right? What I believe in is multifacets of what God could be, right? He could be a spiritual being. I don't know, haven't seen it. He could be like fucking well, it wasn't called the Alien, it was called Prometheus, where it was an alien being that came in, said, here we go.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, because he died to
Yeah,
give
and
us birth. That's
to
true.
give it, yeah. So like it could be that.
I mean, it could
Um,
be any number of things,
it could be a number of things. So
but
it's like,
just but that's how I see, like, that's how I've seen God. It's never been like God as a divine being ruling over
Yeah,
heaven.
like
It's never been that, which is why I think that my perspective on the afterlife
although I think it would be cool as fuck
contradictory in
to
that
be
way.
like if the Greek mythology was real, I fucking would love the shit out of that. That'd be fun. That'd be
I mean,
fucking
it wouldn't necessarily be fun for us, but it would
no, yeah,
definitely
it
be
wouldn't
fun for
be.
Zeus.
Yeah. It wouldn't be necessarily fun for us, but knowing that that's an actual thing, that'd be kind of fucking crazy real. No, I don't know, man. It's that's a hard one.
For sure. But that's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. So
listen,
that's that's
there's
that's why I think that my view on like the afterlife is contradictory to like I see God as a scientist, right? That just kind of kickstarted things. I don't think, I don't necessarily believe that God takes active, like any sort of active participation in day-to-day life, right?
right. So do you think he's a
And
immortal being that just
I
essentially
think I
he was
think
so
God
let me ask you this. So do you
is
believe
some sort of entity beyond our comprehension at scale or at perspective.
but you don't believe necessarily that he's spiritual in the sense of like I pray to him, he hears me.
Well, here's the thing. Again, I have many contradictory viewpoints on this. I have avoided injury and potentially death. And it's one of those like I'll never know what could have happened because I wasn't there, and I wasn't there because of sudden, inexplicable, and non-reproducible car issues.
Oh,
I
that's interesting.
like I was when we were first going to NIU when I was going to college the first time.
Uh-huh.
Well, the first time was basically like not for lack of trying, but
Mhm.
I was looking at a map. This was pre MapQuest days. I was looking at the map and I was like, oh,
Right.
if we take a left on because we were on north, I was like, if we take a left on 31, take 31 to Roosevelt, we could just take Roosevelt all the way in, no problem, right?
Right.
I mean, it's just a printed map, so the printed map doesn't know that there's construction. So we get halfway down 31, there's construction. We got to turn around, get back to north, go down to Randall, take Randall to Roosevelt. Took about 5 minutes to turn back around and get back on the road, right?
Right.
Halfway down Roosevelt towards DeKalb, there is a crash, like a bad crash that happened 5 minutes earlier. Like the police weren't even there yet.
Hmm.
Like the amount of time it took us to go down, 3 blocks on the fucking 31, turn around
Mhm.
and come back and get back on the road.
Right.
It was one of those things I was like, well, that's fucking weird.
Right. I feel
And I
you.
wouldn't have thought much of that singular event, except basically the same thing happened like 2 years later. I was driving my friend up to DeKalb to meet up with another friend. On the way there, this was when I had the Corolla.
Mhm.
And, I was driving back and forth damn near every other day.
Right.
No problems. Driving, I'm on 59 and north. Engine starts like sputtering. It's doing weird shit. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I pull in, I pull a UE, drop into the shell, check it. I pop the engine. I'm like, maybe something's loose. Nothing. I turn it back on. No sounds. Rev it a few times. No problems. I was like, fucking weird. Never heard that sound before. All right, let's get back on the fucking road. Same exact fucking thing happened. I don't know if it was the same fucking intersection, but there was a crash. Cops weren't even there yet. And the amount of time that it took me to stop and check my fucking engine is the amount of time that we missed that accident by. And that's one of those like two of those events that like this is hard for me to explain because that thing never happened with my car again. Never heard that noise again. Never heard
Right.
that noise before. It's weird. It's weird coincidence shit, right? And but that's why I say like that's contradictory to me saying like I don't think God takes an active role.
Right.
And that is like, and me saying that, like me saying God doesn't take an active role, but in those two cases, God did. well, then am I just like, do I just assume that I'm more important and those guys, like God's chosen me? Like he's shoving me. He's trying to see where I get to. You know what I'm saying?
Are you the guy?
I'm the one like
You're the
little
guy?
fucking germ that he's pushing to see what the
You're
fuck
the
happens.
germ. Um,
And then on the complete flip side, on the like completely spiritual side of shit, I was 21, maybe 22. I was at a buddy's house. We were just chilling, and this kid, like friend of his, probably I think he was like 17 or 18.
right.
He was talking about somehow we got in the fucking conversation of religion, and I wasn't never. I mean, I've never really been like religious. I learned one
Sure.
prayer from grandma when I was a kid.
Right.
I say it every once in a while, spontaneously. I say it.
Right.
Like
Right.
if I'm leaving the house and it just like strikes me, I say it.
Right.
Like if I feel myself starting to say it, I say it. Once in a while, if I'm going to bed and I feel myself start to say it, I just say it.
Right.
But it's never something that I consciously do.
Okay.
And we're sitting there and we're talking religion, and this kid is like, yeah, when I was 15, my parents, they basically handed me all the books, said figure out what you believe in. And he was just kind of going over like how he kind of read what he read and figured out what he believed. And during that whole conversation, it just kind of dawned on me like kind of what I think. And as I was driving home that night, I told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, I think I figured out what I believe in after death. Like during that whole conversation, it just kind of coalesced for me. Because my girlfriend at the time was Wiccan. So like I was already like not so much exposed to, but like her family was Christian. I'd been with girls who were Catholic before. So it's like I'd been to Christian and Catholic church services.
Mm-hmm.
I like the community aspect of religion. I don't really give a shit about the rules. Like more than anything, honestly, the one girl who was Wiccan, I was with her for Christmas mass, and I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of having this moment. And I was like, you know what? I'm in supposedly God's house. I am going to have an honest moment, and I'm going to just reach out beyond myself and be like, hey, does it matter how I believe? Because I knew I believed in something. I just didn't know what.
Right.
And I felt that the answer was it doesn't fucking matter. Like if you believe in something, that's cool. That's what I felt the answer was. But this chick was trying to make out with me. I was like, we are in fucking church and I am literally trying to pray. I don't even do this.
Oh, yeah, I was doing that the one time I got taken to a church. You know who? We won't say the name, but you know who.
But so like we're driving back from this fucking hangout, and I was like, I think what I believe is that if you so I'm gonna pause that for a second. During high school, we learned about the transcendentalist poet movement. Transcendentalist poets believed in what is called an oversoul. Basically, that we all come from one mishmash soul, and then just like new souls kind of form out of it. When they've lived their lives, they come back, they join the oversoul. Everyone kind of gets the whole thing, kind of gets all of the experience of it. And that's why you might have situations like what you described, where you remember things that you feel that was something that you experienced.
Right.
And that kind of also lends credence to like the idea of reincarnation. Like you do in some way reincarnate from this oversoul concept. And I really like took to that. I wasn't really doing a lot of like introspection about religion and like faith when I was in high school, but that just kind of stuck with me.
Right.
So then when I came to this realization about my beliefs on the afterlife, I said, I think if you've been a good person and a like productive and a benefit to humanity, your next go round, you get to relax. Whatever that might look like. That might look like you are, you're born in a tropical paradise. There's not a lot of troubles for you and you just kind of have a comfortable life.
Right. I feel you.
Or it might look like you are born into an extremely wealthy family. You never want for anything in your life. And again, extremely comfortable life.
Right.
And I feel like if you were a negative energy in your life, your next go around, you work. You
Yeah,
are
you
put
gotta, you
to the
gotta, you
low
gotta
to the
budget.
lower levels of society. You are shoveling the poop. You
The
are,
poopage,
whatever, the dirt.
poopage,
You're doing
doing dirty jobs,
dirty
man.
jobs, hard jobs, labor. You know,
Um,
that's
yeah,
kind of like what like it did just kind of like coalesce for me. And I was like, because I don't like the like Christian idea of like the hell where you are punished for your sins.
suffer.
Yeah, like eternal suffering. I don't see the point. Honestly, I don't see it and this might be colored by the fact that I believe that God is some sort of scientist,
But here's the
because
thing.
like
But here's the thing,
it doesn't make practical sense, because like let's say you do have like these, unending supply of souls. At some point you're gonna
sir,
fill up hell.
sir,
Hell is like
sir,
some sort of
sir, sir. First
hell's
of
a place.
all, sir, first of all, I would argue that your scientists would like to see the pure evil suffer and not get any rest once they come to his world. Um, and but here's the thing, I believe if there is a hell, right, if there is, and talking about this all in your scenario, and this man being this deity or whatever being a scientist and watching this, I think he would toss them in hell, but only the really, really evil ones, right? The ones that hate on people due to their ethnicity, the color of their skin, shit like that, or what they believe in, or if they're gay or transgender. Like if you are that kind of person where you hate on people and like truly not like you sit back and you judge in your own head, like that's different. People do that shit, and I'm not saying it's right, but people do that. People judge all the time. It's even if it's for the littlest shit. But I'm
Sure.
talking about if you go out of your way to to make it known that you don't like those people, right? You don't like this particular set of people or this about people, or
Sure.
you deserve a special place. And I believe your scientist God would put them in a special little box,
A different petri dish
a little
that maybe
petri
he lights
dish.
on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Here's the thing. I never. I've been. My dad took me once to a mosque, right? That's what they're
Yeah,
called.
Jamia.
Yeah, Jamia, and that was weird. Even as a kid, like I think I was like, man, what? It was here. We were here, so I was like 8, probably like 8. And he took me, dude. And I won't even lie to you, even as an 8-year old, like they're trying to do the praying thing, and I'm like, I'm just looking around like this fucking weird. Like literally as an 8-year old, like even as an 8-year old, to me, it was like fucking, it didn't make sense. Like normally kids follow their parents' lead and they'll try out what their nope, not me, bro. When I was that age, I was like, you guys do this for like on purpose? Like you like you really go here to do this? Like this doesn't make
The
sense.
how does the truly devout
Um
do it 5 times a
the
day?
devout. Obviously I mentioned ex-girlfriend once took me to a church, and I think that's about as much as I've been to like any kind of churches. My mom pray, well, she used to pray all the time in the mornings. I think she still does it. I don't know. I haven't really talked to her about that. Um, but personally, me, I've never done any prayers. I've done this thing where, like, once in a while, like I said, I believe there's a higher being. We call it God. What is that? No idea. I couldn't tell you if it's a spiritual person or a spiritual deity or another human that's like immortal. That, like you said, maybe is fucking just having fun creating, right?
Right.
Like
I don't,
seeing
and like
what
I said,
sticks,
it's I think it's I don't know, it's weird.
or an alien, like I don't know, what it is, but I do believe in a higher being, and I just go with the name God because that's what we are all
It's the
fairly accustomed.
colloquial.
It's, yeah, exactly. um and so once in a while, uh I will. like sit back like this, right, in a chair where I'm just, I don't know, I'm thinking about shit, right? I'm thinking about life, and I'll say, thank you. I'll say my thanks for the stuff I have, right? For my kid, for my wife, for a great set of friends and family that have been in my life and supporting me and stuff. So I will do that, but I never pray. I never actually like sit back and like do a prayer. I guess people would consider that as prayer. I know everybody considers praying differently, so I guess technically, but it's not like I'm doing it in a manner of you would consider praying or anything. I just, just one of those days where it's like, for the times I because I have the issue with whole the depression and shit, and so the thought process can get dark, and when it gets dark you start realizing you're focusing a lot on the negatives. So there's moments where I'm like, how about I focus on the positives, right? And so I
Oh
say
yeah.
my thank you. I'm like, if you are there, if you are listening, I know I focus a lot on negative, but I do want to acknowledge the positives, right? um and so so I do that once. I don't know, honestly I couldn't even say if it's once a month or what, but I
You
don't do
do
it too
you do
much.
it you do it
When
when
you
your
got the
spirit
feeling,
kind yeah,
when you
when your
got the
spirit kind
feeling.
of pushes you. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's the same thing for me. Like I said, you know, sometimes I walk back in the house, I don't think about it. But like when I was a kid, our grandma taught me that if you go if you head out of the house and if you forgot something and you like have to turn back around, doesn't matter if it's 5 feet or 50 feet, you're supposed to do a prayer because that means like you like need to get back on your journey or some shit like that. Like you like
Mm,
basically like it's a do over.
I see.
Um, don't always do it, but sometimes it just feels like, hey, I should do this.
I should do. Yeah, I mean, I feel you, man.
Sometimes
I
I get
feel
on
you.
the road, or sometimes when I'm going to sleep. Sometimes when I sit down to eat. That one's more rare. Um, but like I would say probably a couple times a month. Like when I go to bed, I kind of just like I said, it feels like it starts within me. So
Right,
I then I think out the entire prayer.
right.
But
Yeah.
it's not, it's I don't think about that kind of stuff very often. So it's not something where I'm like, oh man, I was just thinking about this. So I should like I'm going to bed. I should do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean,
And for me, like it's me learning that prayer. I have like just the two great stories about it where the way I learned it was me asking, I don't know, I was probably 5, 6 years old. I asked grandma because my mom was, out of country working.
right.
And so I was sleeping in grandma's house. And every night I would hear her pray, just like as she's doing her like evening routine. So one night I was like, Grandma, what are you counting before bed? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, every night I hear you counting because I just thought she was counting. I didn't
Mhm.
realize she was praying. So I was like, what are you counting? She's like, I'm not counting. She's like, I'm praying. She's like, do you want to learn? I was like, yeah, sure. So like that's kind of like and that's the one thing I'm kind of grateful for. As much as a large segment of our family now like acts real Muslim,
Yeah,
they
they
put a
do.
they put on a big show about it. We were
Hmm.
we were never we were never we never participated heavily in it. It was very much
No, my mom never pushed me
a
towards it. My dad
a
was the only one that
it was
tried
very, it
that
was very
whole
much like a
church thing.
cultural thing as opposed to like a heavily strict religious thing. Like we had one of our uncles came, um, and he was diehard, and he would 5 times a day go in his room. He had his prayer rug, like do the whole thing every day. Like when he was there, if he was there for a
Right,
week, every single day, 5 times a day, without
right.
fail. And that's one of those things where I'm like, and I've tried like certain shit. Like I've tried Ramadan, can't do it. I'm just not built for it. Not think like because the first time I did it, uh, I got to like 5 p.m. and I was starving. I mean, we had just gotten to this country. My mom was in college. So
Okay.
my dumbass, I went to school with her. I don't know why. I forget why I went to, but I went to her class with her. So I'm sitting there. They have these dope. I kind of want a computer table like this, but it was a glass tabletop, and they
Uh,
had those big fucking monitors like at an angle down. So
mm.
the computer was
Yeah,
underneath
yeah,
you,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and I was like, "This is dope." But we're sitting there, I don't know coding. She's learning coding and shit. I don't know shit. It's the first time I'm touching a computer, and
Shit, the fact that they had something like that back then is crazy.
and I'm like, I'm dying. I'm starving. All I'm thinking about for the last 2 hours is food. And then, she had like a snack or something for me or whatever. She's like, it's hard. I was like, it's very hard. And then like a couple years later, she's like, if you're truly devout, even thinking about food, you would give up the day and you would add it on at the end. And I was like, nah, B. Can't get through a whole day not thinking about food. You
Fuck
crazy?
that, bro.
Not,
Well,
dude. And it's
the only
everything.
okay.
And it's
So here's the
everything.
thing.
It's not
Here's the
thinking
thing.
about food, not thinking about sex. And I was like,
I've no.
this is punishment.
This
This
is
is
what
a
this
this isn't
it
about
is. It
devotion.
is.
This is
It is. No,
punishment.
it's
You
not
can't.
devotion. That is punishment.
But that's why
Um,
when we
they
were
just flipped it. They were like, "Oh, he's not punishing us. This is just showing devotion." They're trying to flip it to look
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's punishment. Um, no, listen. The only time I've ever been able to like not think about anything is back when I was gaming all the time. Like when I was involved in gaming, I didn't think about food. I like the hunger didn't hit me until I stopped. Then I was like, oh shit, I need to eat. Um, yeah. So usually like I didn't think about shit,
If I'm
like nothing.
occupied, 100%. If I'm occupied, if my
Yeah.
mind is like fully engaged in something,
But like
I could
you
go.
but don't you gotta
I could
like
probably go a whole day.
don't you gotta do that for like a month?
Yeah,
Yeah,
30 days.
that's not happening.
And like I
Homie.
said, you can't think about food. You
It's
can't
not
think
happening.
about anything. You can't think about sex. And I was like, and that's what's funny is, I mean, funny, haha, funny, ironic, I guess.
Funny.
Because because we went to a mosque to like speak to the Hodja there because we were sitting at my mom's funeral, and I'm sitting there and I watched them. We were there like 4 o'clock, so it was time for evening prayer or whatever. I was sitting there and I'm watching them, and the women are separated, like they're in a different segment of the space.
Oh, I know. It's
And
crazy.
I was like, what the fuck is this? So I asked him, and he's like, yeah, no, the women pray separately. I was like, by the way, separately behind the men.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's the big one.
I was like, why? He's like, that's just how it is. And I asked
But why? But why?
one of the streaming dudes, I was like, yo, do you know why this happens? And he basically said, like, yeah, it's part of it's like part of the religious, like mm, like not habit, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Like custom. And it basically is a way for men to not have to like look at women while they're praying. And I was like, fuck are they gonna do? They're in a mosque. What are you gonna like run up on them?
That it's to get rid of that
like
temptation, big dog.
Right? Are we saying that the temptation to have sex with a woman is so great that it would overpower the fact that you are in public, likely with your family? Like, what?
Listen,
where is this fucking logic coming from?
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? This is gonna be fucked up. Before I was married, when I was young, yeah. Yeah, bro. What the fuck matter?
I was like, yeah, if I saw a booty, I would just have to be inside of it.
Dude, if I
I just want to point out that we started this conversation by talking about what happens after we die.
Yeah.
No,
but
like,
but no joke. Like, yeah, back then, bro, when you like, especially like if I knew it was my girl that was there, oh yeah. Oh, dude, if she was in front, bro.
Okay, so here's the other like entertaining story about that prayer when I learned
Right.
as a kid.
Right.
So the way it goes is Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, right? That's how you say it. That's how it starts. I always knew it as Auzu billah. That's how you say it. That's like the name of it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
My one friend that I had when I was in grade school, when I first got to America, like after we left Sunnyside, when we moved to Northside,
Yeah.
Rogers Park, I had the one friend, Saki. He called it Bismillah. It's just the next part of it, right?
Right.
We legit almost came to fucking Nux for this. We almost brawled over the fucking phrasing because I was like, "That's not what it's called. Why would you call it that?" And he's like, "Well, that's what we call it." I'm like, "But dude, that's wrong. You're saying it wrong." Like I was just so like, I'm like, "No, you are wrong." So like we started yelling
You
at it.
are wrong.
We started yelling at each other. His mom came out, my mom came out, and they're like, it doesn't matter. Like some people say it one way, some people say it the other way. And I was like, which way is right? One way has to be right. I almost fucking fought my best friend over a fucking name of
Jesus
something that I didn't care
Christ,
about.
dude.
It was ridiculous.
Bruh. Bruh.
Man, I always wonder what that kid's up to. Like I've tried like finding him on Facebook and shit, but I don't remember his last name. And I think Saki is like a nickname, so I don't think I ever knew his fucking real name. I mean, I might have, but like,
You know, it's listen, here's the thing.
it's just curious. It's one of those. It's just like a
It's
curiosity.
curiosity. No, I get it because you know what? I used to be really good friends with people from Chicago. I used to have a which is kind of funny now. See, this is what's crazy, right? People talk about stuff and then like you realize how far back like stuff um like we talk about racism, even though you and I don't necessarily care for that word and stuff like that. But like it's funny how you don't think about it, but it's like, why was I always, why didn't I grow up racist, right? Why didn't I grow up hating on different ethnic backgrounds and stuff like that? But then I started thinking about, like, man, but because for me, like ever since I've been in America, everybody I connected with was of a different ethnic background. If it was Hispanic, Black,
Mhm.
Asian. And like I was just thinking, like now that you said that, I was like, oh my God, dude, I used to be like really good friends with this Asian kid back in Chicago when I was doing, what was it, elementary? I think
Yeah,
elementary, like fourth grade,
yeah, elementary.
right? Yeah, elementary. Um, and there was actually a black girl there that I was really good friends with. I remember I think the other kid was Hispanic, and like the me and the Asian kid were like, we were like tight at that age, like real tight. Now that I think, I'm like, how did I knew I was so upset that we were leaving that like I didn't want to lose him as a friend. But it's weird because you're so young and you leave, you move from Chicago, you come to the suburbs, and you have to get accustomed to this weird new school that you got taken
This is a
away
whole
from.
different universe,
Yeah, dude. And then it's like I just lost him. Like I
dude.
lost, like he was no longer like a thing. And I'm like, and I sometimes think about it. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, how did like we had a connection and then that was it. Like it's like it never existed. It's
I
crazy.
have a similar story. Mine ends differently though.
Oh,
I was not like super close friends with this kid, but the one of like the first people I met, like by name in the U.S.
right.
Was this kid in my ESL class, my English class, like learning English class, and he was Chinese, I'm pretty sure, and we only had that class together. We weren't in any other classes together.
Right.
We were in the same grade, but I guess we were in different rooms. I don't even remember, but I just remember that we
I
took
mean, yeah.
ESL together. We took ESL together, and the way he was introduced to me and the way I spoke to him is Chow Chow. Like that's how, like CHAO. That was his name, and I was like, okay, sure. Like I was like, cool. I don't know nothing about Chinese people. That's your name. That's your name. Whatever.
Right.
So I moved to the suburbs, went through junior high, get to Lake Park. This motherfucker's in the school.
Jesus.
His name is not that at all. I was like, dude, you look familiar as hell. I was like, did you go? And I said the name of the school in Chicago. He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, we learned English together. I was like, this is fucking crazy. His name was completely different. His name does start with the same letter for his first and last name, but it was just one of those like I didn't understand. I mean, like I was, I was still like kind of getting used to the
Yeah, of
way
course.
shit
Yeah,
worked.
I mean,
So
yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
like, I didn't understand like why his name in Chicago was different than his name in the suburbs.
right.
But like, yeah, no. And I think there was another kid that showed up like sophomore year. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he went to my school in Chicago. But at that point, I was like 4 years removed from Chicago. So like I was remembering less and less.
Right.
And it was one of those things like the only like the three vivid things that I remember for, because I failed German in Chicago and I'm never gonna forget that. But the other three like vivid things I remember for Chicago, I used to draw a lot when I was there. That was like one of my things. I would draw a shit ton.
Right. Yeah.
And I let this kid borrow my fucking sketchbook and he left the state.
Jesus.
Motherfucker just disappeared.
Took your shit,
Took
son.
my shit. I was so mad,
He
dude.
took
Because this was when like Mortal
your
Kombat 3 came out, and I think
fuck.
Saki had like let me borrow his like Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate guidebook. That's, by the way, that is the only reason I have a video game guidebook on my wish list on Amazon. I want that guidebook back. But like I don't know if I traced them or if I did actually draw them, but I drew like Raiden, like fucking reptile shit like that. Like I was drawing those motherfuckers in
Right.
this little sketchbook. And I remember him like stealing that. I mean, like I don't know if it was on purpose, but whatever. Like
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't bring it back, is what I'm
right. He
saying.
didn't bring it. Right.
And the other thing is the first girl I ever had a crush on, I still to this day I think her name is beautiful. Her name is Frances. And fun fact, my dentist from a while back, I thought it was her. I
Oh,
legit thought, because her name was Frances.
Francis.
And I was
Yeah.
like, yo, is this my like high school my grade school crush? This would be hilarious. But the other thing is we did I don't even remember what like context one might do this for, but we did a song in class. Don't know why, but we all like learned a song. And it's Kirk Franklin and the Family. I always forget the name of the song, but it's like it's Lean on Me.
Mm.
Lean on me.
Yeah. It's a good song.
But the funny thing is, I will always know those lyrics because I learned them. It was like one of the first fucking things I learned in America.
Right.
So I will always, till the day I die, know those lyrics.
Right. No, I feel you.
So that's like the three things I remember. Outside of that, like vague shit, like that's when I started like watching Power Rangers and shit. So like there was like Power Ranger coloring book. That's how I started talking to kids. I was like, I like the Red Ranger. You know, so that's kind of shit. Like I was like, that's the kind of shit I learned. But like, I don't remember nothing outside of that fucking school.
Right.
And then it was like one day, oh no, that's not true. Seventh grade, which was, I was there 3 fucking years. Seventh grade, we got the computers and we played a file which was literally called bats.exe. We played it in DOS, except it was is actually, I think it's called, is it Space Invaders? It's like the top-down shooter. It's like but the aliens all look like bats.
Right.
So that I'm pretty sure that's why it was called Bats.
Probably.
But that's like the one fucking thing we learned. It was that, and that's when I created my bootleg Spider-Man. My bootleg Spider-Man, the White Spider.
Yeah.
It's literally the. Do you remember that shit? The
Yeah,
Venom
yeah,
saga,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Venom
yeah.
saga was on the Spider-Man cartoon, and I was like, what if it was a white costume with a black spider logo? That's a completely different thing. Fun fact, I invented Ultimate Venom because I said that it was a man-made suit, and when they did Ultimate Venom was a man-made suit.
Oh shit.
I
Okay.
invented Ultimate Venom.
You invented Ultimate Venom.
Except
Um,
except one of my friends in high school, not no, I think it was in junior high, like when like eighth grade, I started telling people about the story that I was writing because I was like expanding it. I was building a whole team. There was the wife. She had a suit. There was a friend. He had a suit. There was a whole fucking dude. I was expanding the show, this universe. And but the thing was, I didn't think like I was just making characters without like background or name or anything.
right.
So he was like, this. I was telling this kid about it, and he's like, it's just Spider-Man. I'm like, no, it's not Spider-Man. Like, it's not, he doesn't like get bit by radio. Like, it's a suit. He puts on a suit. Like, it's technology. And they're like laughing at me, basically. He's like, what's his name? Reader Barker. And I was like, no. They're like, what? They're like, what? Is it you? And it was me. That was the point. The point was that the main character was me.
It was you. Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, no, that would be stupid.
Fun fact, going off of that, going back to people that we've forgotten and stuff like that.
Mhm.
The Asian kid actually was the one from that school, which I think was Clinton School, I believe, in
I
Chicago.
don't know the one you went to. I I have to this day not been able to find where we lived on Sunnyside.
Yeah, no, I'm right. It's Clinton. It's Clinton
Okay.
Elementary School. Yeah, on Fairfield Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. Back in the day, Dizzles. Um, he's the one that gave me that as a birthday gift. Uh, the headgear system that I had, where on the one eye you can play a gaming system, and it was like right here you had
Bro,
screen.
you're insane. You're talking about the Virtual Boy?
Yeah, the Virtual Boy. Yeah,
He just gave you that.
yeah. He gave it to me. Well, I mean, his family, not
Bro,
he.
they was rolling.
I mean, that's it's
That's when it came out.
that's
bro.
when that's when it came out, man. That's when it came out. That is when it. Yeah, that's 100 when it came out.
Bro.
Yeah. Is that what it was? It was virtual.
The Virtual Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
No. The Virtual Boy was a full headset. It was like VR.
That was the full what
I
headset.
know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I can't remember who made it. I thought it was Sony, but maybe I'm wrong. Uh yeah, dude. By the way, I never got rid of that. That just got lost within all the moving that I've done. Like I never actually got rid of it. I always owned it. I just don't know where it went.
Oh my God. I know what you're talking about, too. I don't know why, but I feel like it was Tiger Electronics. But I think that just might be a cop out because everything was Tiger Electronics.
Yeah, right.
This would have been what, 90s
Oh, there it is.
video?
There it is. It's
Bro.
there. What is it? What is it? Oh my God, what is it?
Oh no, there it is. Our Zone headgear.
There you go.
Our Zone headgear.
There you go.
I forgot
Yeah,
that you
the
had
R zone.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so
Yeah, it was
ridiculous.
the
I
R
remember
zone.
that shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. Bro, can we talk about the fact that we are just now finally living up to the promise of the 90s?
And 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
The 90s were like, this is the future. Everyone was like, no, it's not.
And
And it's
now
2021. And we're like, shit, it was. But
virtual headsets. Yeah, the R zone. Yeah, the
like if
R
you
zone.
bro, can you imagine going back to 1996 or whatever the fuck? Somebody's like, I got a Virtual Boy. Check this shit out. And you're
I
like,
know, right?
Oculus 2. You just put it on their head.
They lose. They delete. They delete, dude.
They would ultimate blue screen just
Like what happened?
just they'd wake up, they'd have no memory of the last 6 days. What the fuck just happened? Like how is
it's
this
so
possible?
it's so true, dude. It's so yeah, but I used to have the R zone, man. I
Oh my god, the R
never
zone.
never got rid of it. But it got lost somewhere in the moving, and I guess technically I did get rid of it
Because they also
because
had the handheld version of the R zone, the XPG, where it projected it on the back screen.
yeah.
You had that too.
Did
I think you
I?
had both. I'm pretty sure you had both. I mean, I played with both, so somebody had it. I know it wasn't me.
Yeah. I don't remember having that one, but I definitely remember having the one for the. Yeah,
That's
he
how we
hooked me
played
up.
fucking Batman and
He
Robin,
he gave
man.
me the he. I know, dude. I know. He gave me that for my birthday, and I mean, obviously not necessarily him.
But you for sure had the Virtual Boy, didn't you?
I honestly
Somebody again is one of those like I never had shit, so somebody must have had that shit because I
I
played
can't
with it.
remember Virtual Boy.
It's the red one. It had like legs. You had to have it on legs.
I did not have that though. Yeah, I did not have that. That was somebody else. Um, who did have that? I can't remember. Somebody had that. I didn't. Um, yeah, man. Yeah. So that's kind of what I feel like happens when we die.
You get an R zone.
Yeah, you get an R
Look,
zone.
look.
You go
I
back
don't.
to
I don't want
you
to be
go back to the
disrespectful.
90s.
I
You
don't want to be
go
disrespectful.
you-
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm gonna be disrespectful. Um, how far do you feel as Peter Dinklage when your 6-year-old daughter is taller than you?
I mean, listen, man, you feel like you're Peter
But
Dinklage,
first
man.
of all, yeah, no, for sure. First of all, he is fucking jamming out on a fucking Razor scooter with her. Is this a photo is adorable?
Yeah,
Like it's the most adorable thing.
he's Peter Dinklage. Who matters? What does it matter? You know, at the end of the day, he is himself.
I did want to talk about one fucking
He's
media thing
he's
for no
he's
reason.
he's larger than life. Let's be real.
I did want to talk about one media thing for no reason
For no
because
reason.
I don't. When does it release? No, it says January 13th. Perfect. So in like 2 weeks when Peacemaker comes out, because this is going to come out like right before Christmas. In 2 weeks when Peacemaker comes out, I really fucking hope that they don't try to make me like Peacemaker, because the premise
Yeah,
is
me
that
too.
he's a
Yeah,
piece of shit.
yeah, me too. Like I like the
I want him to
Peacemaker
be
we
the
got.
butt of every joke.
I like the Peacemaker we got in the movie, and I hope that stays the same way. He's a
Mhm.
dick. Uh, he doesn't care about anybody except himself. What he believes is uh, the the justice way, right?
Mhm.
And that's it. That's all I want. I don't. Nope. If you give me any kind of like, oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm cancel. I'm like, stop right there. Stop. Nope. 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 But I'm hoping that won't happen because, I mean, in all reality, like from what I've seen with John Cena when he's been promoting that character in that movie, um, he was very much about he liked how the character was portrayed. So that's good. And plus it's still I already forgot his name. It's the same director. So like what the fuck is James Gunn? And I don't see James Gunn, even though he did the weird thing with the dad thing in Guardians 2, I don't see him doing let's like
Is he directing it?
yeah, he's doing the whole series from what I understand. From what I understand, he's doing the series. Oh, it's written by him. My apologies. It's written by him.
Yeah.
So it being written by him, I don't think he would write that in.
Adrian Chase. Why do I feel like I know that name? Vigilante.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I
Shadowmaster.
don't think
Wow.
James Gunn would write that into the character, but I mean, you never know. It's
Exactly.
crazy
You
shits.
never
You
know.
never know. Crazy shits happen. I don't know how that person is
Can
100% of the
we
time.
can we can we say, since this is right before Christmas, right before New Year's, I don't know when the fuck I'm putting this out, before the end of the year. So going into this being our 100th episode,
Yeah, 100.
uh super haphazardly recorded,
100. Super
recorded,
happy.
not considered ahead of time at all.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
What are you happy about from 2021, and what do you want to happen in 2022? Personal shit only. I'm not fuck media, but like, what's something you're happy with for 2021 that you've accomplished or that's happened to you, and what do you want to happen slash accomplish in 2022?
Uh, I don't know, man. 2021 hasn't been like a good, like it's been a fine year. There's nothing great about it for me. Like, I mean, as I said before, or actually in this podcast I said earlier, I'm thankful for what I have, right?
Right.
But when it comes down to overall, like as a whole year, nothing really sticks out that I was just like, yeah, that was great. Not even with even like the channel, nothing like that. So I think 2022, I honestly, it's gonna, and this kind of like shitty way of, because most people would be like something maybe fun, right? Something good. Like people wouldn't think working harder is good. For me, I think what I'm gonna try to do for 2022, just to feel like I've and done everything I could to succeed further in
Mm-hmm.
this automotive thing. I'm going to try a lot harder this coming up year to implement myself more within the industry outside of the things that I've done in the past, like going to conventions and stuff. That's great, but obviously that's not necessarily an ideal situation still, at least not for me. So maybe if I can still get an opportunity to like meet a little bit more people and get more content that I enjoy creating, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, just kind of work more towards this thing that I have, that I'm capable of doing, and just kind of find newer ways to be able to do more, um, without having the means to do more, essentially. So yeah, that's probably the best way I can put it is, I talked to you like, one of the things I talked to you about was, uh, actually attempting to go talk to maybe some dealerships that have some nice cars that I enjoy, and getting some more footage of that stuff and letting them know, hey, I'll put your, contact information for the car and stuff like that in the descriptions, and then people will see, where I got the car from, and kind of, go from there. So we'll see. That's probably the thing I'm looking forward to doing the most next year is two things. One, getting back into my better physique, shape, health, and then two, is just working harder on that. We're all limited to how much time we have and stuff like that, and what, still having a very young child, you still got to spend, take time on your days off that you want to put time towards stuff like, the channel and stuff to take care of your kid. But if I'm not doing that, I want to try to then focus more on what I can do to help grow the channel. So
Right.
that's probably what I'm looking forward the most. As for what happened this year, what I'm happy about, I don't know, the basics. I'm happy about, just having the people in my life that I do, and because of them, I've been able to, unlike other people, I've been able to go through 2020 and 2021 without losing my mind or going bonkers or being mad at everybody. Like, I got good people in my life and I got something to focus on. So that's probably the best I can put for those, for both for 2020 and 2021. Just got some shit I can focus on and good people in my life. So that's the best I got right now. Nothing else. I guess that's not true. That's not true. There is one thing that's not a basic family thing answer.
I was gonna say.
I forgot. I forgot that was this year. I forgot that was this
I
year.
mean, it's been a long year, but
It's been a long year. I forgot, but I got a free car. I got a free car. So that's pretty dope. That's actually
YouTube.com,
that's
YouTube.com/Full Throttle Auto.
that's coming out soon, baby. That's coming. I just got to start putting them together, but those are the next set of videos. But yeah, I forgot because that's 2 years in a row. The Talon was 2020, and
Hey, don't make that an annual thing. I ain't got no more space for you.
hey, bro, tell me about it.
I ain't got no more space for you.
I promise I'm not. This is right now. This is
Or
where
or
it's
if
at.
you do, I'm gonna need you to start. I need you to change your fucking opinion about how to make those videos. I need you to start making those YouTuber. I got a new car. Here's the plan. I need 43 videos per fucking car. You're gonna make it an annual thing. I need a video for every side of the car.
I mean, listen, I think we agreed. I think introducing the car is going to be a good thing for the channel, but I'm not going to do it like your typical YouTuber has. I'm going to try to put a little more effort in it, in making it more.
Is there somewhere where we could put the car? I'm not saying like off-road, but like a little off-road, like on some dirt, on some gravel. Here's my thought. This is just a thought. I literally just had this thought.
Just a thought.
If you do kind of like a eerie cinematic intro, kind of like a little deep music, kind of a little dark, and then you just have dead silence, like the music cuts, that dead silence, you just hear the tires over like gravel, like you capture raw audio,
Right.
and then you have the camera ground level and the fucking tire just comes up over like not a hill, but like
Right.
just the camera the wheel comes into view, and then we just pull out, like boom, there it is.
Here's the problem with that. I'm sure we can find an off-road space. That's not the problem. The problem is then I got to take off the new wheels, put on the old wheels to get that shot.
That's true.
That's
true.
not,
That's fair.
I don't want to do it.
That's fair. You've already got the footage. But when you do the wheels,
not even the wheels, but once we get like to the completion or like half completion of the car, because obviously I don't have the money to throw in to do the full completion of the car. Yeah. But at least that, like the half completion, we can take, because there is an off-road joint both in Illinois and in Indiana that are not like too far away, and like they're legit. They're off-road for like vehicles. Like it doesn't matter if it's side by sides or if it's a 4x4 or whatever. That we can take it and we can kind of do a fun video after it's complete. So yeah, we can do that. We can do that's I like that. That's a
write
good
that
idea.
down. Write it down.
But I do have to, I don't know if he will never watch this or listen to this podcast, but I gotta say huge thank you to Ty for just
I'm gonna send him a link. I'll make sure he listens to this
hooking me
podcast.
up with that car, man. It was such a weird way that it got brought up. Like
Man, listen,
I don't even know what we were talking about. But
Ty is the plug, man. Ty is the Austin
right?
plug. Like
I know.
I was having a conversation with a woman I had never met in my life. We were talking about food, and she's like, "Oh yeah," she's like something Texas. She's like, "There's not a lot of Asian joints in Texas or whatever." I was like, "Oh, where are you at in Texas?" She's like, "Austin." I grabbed my phone. I was like, "Let me get with my guy. Let me see if we know some shit."
Yeah.
And that's why he hooked me up with that Filipino joint. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
write this down. Her husband went to his phone. He's like, I'm gonna text that to myself. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, I got people.
Yeah,
It
I
felt
got
right. It
people.
felt
Yeah,
good.
no,
It felt good.
Dude, if Ty knows food in Texas, Austin specifically, he's the one that knows it.
It
Like
was like Austin. I
that
was like,
man,
I got to plug out the
yeah,
plug in
yeah,
Austin.
yeah. That man knows his food in Austin. I'll tell you what, man. But no, I gotta give him big props, man. The fact that he was like willing to wait for me to come get the car and even just give it to me. I mean, listen, he wanted to get rid of it for free.
Sure.
So that to me, but like for him to hold on to it for about a month so I can go get it, that was dope. That was dope. That was massive. That was huge. And then obviously it was massive, huge of you to let me fucking keep all my cars at your fucking house.
Hey, all I know is my wife
uh,
will start chopping your feet off if you don't start paying again in January. So just
oh
keep that in
shit.
mind.
Okay. Okay. Shit. Well, listen, it's not my fault. You guys gave it to me for free for a
Oh no,
year.
I know.
So,
Dude, I ain't worry about it. All I know is in January.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But no, that was dope. That was huge. That was that. For something outside of you, like what people can go for, like where usually they say it's a cop out answer if you say it's your family or it's your friend, like outside of those answers, yeah, it would have to be the car for sure. Yeah,
Right.
that was super dope. That was super dope.
For
That
sure.
was two years in a row was 100%. Like it was like it was hard. Like it hit me in the heart when I got the Eagle, like hard. But then to like get the second one, that was like. But it's been such a long year. I completely forgot that happened this year. It's.
Bro, the last 20 months have been the last 20 months.
I'm saying, dude,
It's been a thing.
it's been a
It's been a
fucking
thing.
thing,
I will
man.
say completely out of my control and outside of myself, but I am so glad that they got these fucking vaccines pushed forward. It has
Facts.
made life a little more comfortable.
A little bit
I
more.
feel a
Yeah.
little safer when I'm out there.
Yeah.
And it it honestly has been, because like there was a time before the vaccines were even approved when they were just a fucking hope in the wind. We would go to the fucking store and like Eric and I got into a fight because I was just trying to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
Like we
man.
got in the store, I was like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
And she was not on the same wavelength as me, so we ended up getting into a fight about it.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
I
don't
was
know.
like,
I
I'm
try to.
in, trying to get the fuck out.
I mean, I'm still kind of the same way. Like, yeah, like we went to Jewel and Costco, and like I went in, tried to make sure there was nothing else in here, and I got out. Like, I'm not gonna sit
Yeah,
there
no,
like
no,
I
but yeah,
used
I'm
to.
not saying like hanging the fuck out, but I mean like I
But
can
like
just
we, but
shop now. It's
yeah,
not.
but
I'm
like
not
exactly,
like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not like rushing, and
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not like worried about, because those first months they would have the directional arrows on the floors, and then I would see motherfuckers not
Oh yeah,
following the arrows,
yeah,
then I'd get mad at them, and I would
yeah.
just like all of this stress just building and building.
Oh
So
yeah, man.
the vaccine has been just kind of like a nice,
It has, yeah,
just
man. I
like
mean,
get to exhale a little bit, just a little bit, a little
yeah.
exhale.
I mean, listen, it is annoying that we got a lot of people that aren't vaccinated that are causing variants to happen, and people are stupid, and that part is annoying, like realizing that there's just too much stupid in this world, but
Mhm.
it is what it is. I mean, you could just you just got to kind of worry about the positive aspects, versus those negative ones. So
Right, right. Worry about what you can control, and
exactly.
I will
Yeah.
say what I have been able to control has been to get some shit done around this joint. With your assistance, we got some of that deck torn down already,
Yeah, we did do
so
that.
that was
Yeah.
huge.
I
That's
forgot that was this year too.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I forgot that's fuck,
got
man.
that done. We got some smaller inside stuff done. The contrary to what you see behind me, because right now I'm moving shit around to organize it, but I was able to actually clean off this desk, and it's now actually manageable. All that over there is stuff from this one camera, so it's just like the packaging from this one camera over there is still actually organized. Like it's actually kind of nice to just be like, oh, I can literally just put this away, and now it's clear.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like 3 to 4 layers of shit on top of
Yeah,
each
yeah, yeah,
other.
100%,
So
man.
it
There's
has
a good
been.
there's a good feeling when you clear
Mhm,
up your normal working area. There's something
mhm.
good about it. Something good about it.
It like relaxes you. And
It does, man.
I've also been able to like get on more of a kind of a personal schedule with like organizing shit and cleaning shit and
Yeah.
like weird like dumb shit like laundry, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like just kind of being on top of it,
Yeah, man.
not just like, oh, I did the load and then just like didn't put it away for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Like, like it feels a little better. I'm pretty much on a weekly thing now with laundry, and it's nice, and it's like shit is just clean, it's ready, and I don't have to worry about it. It's kind of nice.
No, I 100% agree on that.
So that's honestly that's that, and I had that push for 1,000 videos. I got to 960 so far. It's gonna be probably 3 or 4 more before the end of the year. So not 1,000, but that is what it
Yeah.
is. But it's one of those things. Journey, not the destination. The destination was not important. It was an arbitrary number goal. Um, I wasn't going to hit 1 million views because the stuff I was putting out was not view generating.
Right, right.
So there was that. Currently, Social Blade is projecting 1 million views by like mid-year next year.
Mm.
And only 25, like a little over 2,500 subscribers by the end of next year. And I'm like, I feel like getting 1 million views might push that a little faster, but we'll see. Of course,
Oh,
it's also going to be
oh,
execution. It's also going to be all
right,
those
right,
things.
right, for sure, for sure.
But
I was gonna say, I forgot that um
you got monetized this year. You got
last
monetized.
year. No, that was last
Oh,
year.
was it last year?
Yeah, it was last year. It was last year.
Fair enough.
Um, that being said, though, I apparently officially have reached 300 uploads on the
Nice.
channel. So
Nice.
300, I would say not cop out uploads. You know what I mean by cop out, like, quit, like what's
Yes.
up, guys, or like actual. I try to put work in them uploads. I'm pretty happy with that. 300, man. It feels like it's a lot more, but I think that's because I also did T3G before this, so like maybe that's why it feels like a lot
Oh yeah.
more.
Oh yeah.
But it
Yeah,
is
that's the thing
work,
is
man.
like I claim, this 960, but like you said, you did a bunch of videos on the channel as well. So like it's
It's
all
the
it's all perspective.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, it's listen, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still work. Because unless you do
It's
it
work and
as
effort
a
and it's learning and it's
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, listen, have I made shitty videos? Yeah. Have I made videos that I'm really happy with? Absolutely. Actually, the most recent one with the 10 Gen Accord with Senat's car, I actually really like the edit on that. That's not how I even thought it was gonna come out. Like when I was recording it, I thought about completely different, not completely different, but definitely a different video.
it was a lot.
Certain.
It was louder, but it was quieter than I was expecting it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't as, but that's because there's no exhaust or anything like that. So it's in general a quiet car. But
It felt like I mean, I guess it's in a box, so it's a different setup. It's not the
yeah,
same as
yeah, yeah,
yours.
yeah, yeah. And plus his is turbo, so turbos automatically
Mm,
reduce sound that comes out of the car anyway. So
mm.
um, but it just felt like a video, like especially like more of a like how kind of like a how-to video. It just felt better than the other ones for some reason. I don't
Right.
know, maybe because I ignored the fact that like the intro and the outro stuff, um, which I think is definitely part of it, and also like just quickly going into the product and then just jumping into the install. How the
That's that Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah, how
Get right
like
into it.
doing the like the tuning right after the install, and like doing a mixture of like voiceover and then direct audio from the when I was showing him what I was doing. I think it was just a little bit. I mean, maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe it's that like it's
It's
not
faster
as
pacing, dude.
it's faster
It's
pacing.
faster pacing. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that there is something huge to be said about that. I will tell you. I mean, you know, I recently played through his like a weird kind of aside, but I recently played through the Halo Master Chief Collection. Like, played through all 4 fucking original Halo games.
yeah,
I put Halo 5 in. The pacing in Halo 5, and maybe it's just because it's on easy mode and like it's a little easier to, you know, kind of plow through shit. But like the story pacing with on easy mode just to get through, like to play through the story to get to understand what happens in the story
right.
is so quick that like it feels like, oh well, I can just, you know, play through this next part so I can, you know, get to the next area and get to the next thing. It feels like you just want to keep playing and just finish the story.
Then there's something to be said
There's
about
something to be
that.
said, like there's a lot to be said
There's
about pacing. Pacing is
oh
huge.
yeah, for sure. I mean, we talk about that for everything, man. You know, when it's video games, it's movies. We talk about pacing all the time for movies and stuff like that, and how it can get boring. So yeah, no, it is something like cutting out something. Like the problem is like I noticed when making videos, right? There is something to be said, like, you know, people need to know who the person is, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes they don't.
Right.
Like I think what works really well for that, you know, the guy I showed you that just popped off, right? That mechanic.
Mhm.
Most of the times you don't know who it is. You don't see his face.
Right.
You just
It's
know it's a
about the
dude.
thing. It's about the thing that
Yeah,
he's
you
talking
just
about.
know, but you're still curious. Like even though you don't know who it is,
Mhm.
you're still somehow attached with how he works, the little comedy he does in there with like, you know, different kind of voice tones and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff like that. So like there's still something to be said. Like you might not know how he looks, but you still connect it. So,
for sure.
you know,
I think what would work for you, for your channel and your type of content is a short intro, like 10-15 seconds at most. Like, hey, this is welcome to Full Throttle Auto. Today we're gonna XYZ. And then either, I don't know if you know, if you want to, like I do my intro and then I do the channel, you know, the video intro,
right.
pre-made
And so
one.
and I
And
missed.
then but then for you, what I think would be like, hey, today we're going to do this. And then if you just go into working on that right away, or voiceover with, you know, video or whatever, I
Right.
think that just, I think that would work really well. I honestly
Yeah,
do. I
no,
think
yeah.
that's because it's kind of like what this felt like. It felt like, oh hey, we're going to be doing this, boom, and you were opening the box and like we were kind of like already in it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh cool, this is dope.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I like it. That's why I like me being on camera and introducing what we're doing. I feel like it's irrelevant because the title says what we're doing. So like you already know by going into this what we're doing. I don't have to tell you on the camera.
Right.
And if you watch my videos, you know what I look like. So we can just start going at this, right? And
Hmm.
it can still be informative but quick. I mean, there's still something to be said. Like a really one of the most popular automotive YouTubers, his name's Chris Fix. You never see his face.
It's, dude, there's it's different kinds of videos for different kinds of
Yeah,
people.
but don't get me wrong. I think his videos are some of the best things on YouTube because he definitely takes the time to put them to like certain transitions that he does and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But he's very good at how he talks, how he expresses, how he provides the information. So it just works really well for him. And he's very informative, very technical, very smart. Um, so you know, there's a reason why he's big, but like it's a good example that like you don't necessarily need a to be on camera for people to want to be part of your channel and want to see your videos and stuff like that. So I don't know, you know, it goes back into the journey, right? I'm always experimenting with this shit, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't.
Exactly.
um and there's always going to be different types of video. I'm never going to make the same type of video just because I'm not just a car guy and a and want to be, you know, somebody who wants to be a racer, but there is the other side of me that actually loves creating um, content, loves creating stories and the way the videos are put together. So I would never be okay with just having the same. It's like actors and directors, like they get typecast for that role or that directorial because that's what they're good at.
Right.
Where there's other directors and actors that are like, no, that's not what I want. I
Right.
want to do more than just that. And so that's kind of how I am, is like, I just want to like do different kinds of videos that I still enjoy, that are still within what I want to do, but not all of them have to be all exactly the same. So, and yeah, I was telling the other T3G, Dino, um, I was telling him, I'm like, one of my favorite series that I've done on YouTube so far that I've made is the 240. There's no talking. I just get into it. You know what we're working on from the title, and you just watch us work. And like, apparently, according to his brother Mickey, uh, Mickey's friend, one of Mickey's friends, it's his favorite videos of mine. Like, he loves them. I didn't even realize he was watching, but he like loves the 240 videos. Um,
That's good.
and so that's good. It's good to know that, like, I'm not, I don't just like them because they're mine, but there are other people that actually do enjoy the videos. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
That's
But you didn't answer. What are you looking for next year?
for next year.
Yeah.
I'm looking to build out the front end, if you will, of the business. Build out a computer services business to essentially to be the thing,
To be the thing.
to
To
be the
be,
thing, to be the
yeah.
thing that I do. Design is interesting. Like, a design is a entertaining thing, but I think more and more design for me is becoming more so of a hobby, less of a thing I want to do for people and to
Right.
standards
Right.
and all this other shit.
I feel you. I feel you.
Plus, a lot of shit like web design and stuff like that, it's becoming
I feel like
a
with
lot
with
more
stuff like,
DIY.
yeah, like the stuff with like Wix and all those companies that
Squarespace and all that shit. Yeah.
Squarespace, like, at that point, I feel like they're kind of eliminating the need for a custom design website that you need a designer for. Like,
Yeah.
it's they make
It
it
does
so.
make a lot of shit homogenous, and that is kind of boring. But I think
I agree.
at some point you will need, depending on what you're doing, of course. But
A
I think
hundred
at some
percent,
point
yeah.
you will, as a business, need something that will be unique and customized. But out the gate,
Overall, right out the gate,
like
yeah,
at my price point,
right,
like at the under 1,000, 2,000 to two
right,
thousand kind of price point, just do it yourself.
yeah,
Take a weekend, slap out a fucking
yeah,
website on Squarespace.
yeah.
You'll
I
be good.
agree, 100%,
You'll be good.
100%. I 100%
Like,
agree with that.
it's to a degree, like 10 years ago, the best DIY drag and drop kind of thing was hard.
Yeah,
It was not,
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was not anything that we like. I remember what's funny. This is like as asides, tangents. Uh,
Tangents.
when I started making websites, it was all DIY drag and drop.
Oh, was it?
I remember using, I don't even know if this is what this website exists anymore. I don't even know who bought it, what the fuck happened to it. But there was a website, it was a service called Homestead.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
you could
yeah.
just drag and drop whatever the fuck you wanted onto the website.
Yeah, dude.
And
I
it did all
remember
the
that.
code for you.
Yeah, dude.
Granted, it was all HTML. Like, it
But it's
was
still,
not,
but it's still, but it still
but I
worked.
made like 4 fucking X-Men websites off of that shit.
We did, dude. We did back in the day, man.
Like, it's whereas comparatively, like, if you had the fuck was it, GeoCities, if you had a GeoCities website, you had to know how to code. You
Right.
had to have like Dreamweaver, or you had to fresh code the whole thing yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you had to have a software that would allow you to drag and drop and create the code for you, or you would have to fucking code it in yourself.
Right.
uh so like, Homestead is kind of like what this stuff started as. it's just now funneling a lot more of the back end stuff, like the PHP and the HTML5 and all the shit that like you would need to know to build a website.
Yeah.
It's just kind of all built in now. And so yeah, anyway, so I'm trying to move away from the design. I mean, I have a couple customers who are going to come to me and they're going to want updates or whatever, and I'm always going to work with them. But if if Mr. if Mr. Too Busy to fucking sign a contract ever comes back to me and signs a
Yeah.
contract, I'll probably build his website too. And
Right,
shit.
right. That
But
that is kind of.
it's look, man, I get it. You're busy. It took him a year to get back to me from our previous conversation.
I mean, I get it. You're busy, but at the
Um,
same time, it's like, God damn, dude.
it's very much one of those things. Like, if he comes back to me next year, I'll be like, listen, I'm gonna need to send you an updated quote. My price is done changed.
I'm saying, dude, like,
Um,
sorry, listen, I know I told you a price, but it's been a minute. So
right, exactly. But yeah, no, computer repair, B2B, you know, working with small businesses, not given proper solutions, being able to go in and fix up some shit for people who don't have in-house tech, in-house IT.
right, for sure, 100%.
And
I think that's a
it's one of those things like, I've got a couple clients like that now. It's nice, it's simple. It's not a lot of, oh my goodness, this, that, or the other thing. Like, this kind of client, for the most part, will always understand there need to be backups, there need to be copies. I
right.
mean,
Yeah, 100%.
I'm never going to have to walk in and be like, yeah, I guess I can try to recover your data from this one computer that you have everything on. I guess I can try,
Oh, let's
like
not talk about that.
my current one big client, they've got Carbonite on like all of their fucking computers. So
Which is
they're
fucking
like, can you
a
pull anything off the drive? I was like, I can try. They're like, no big deal. We just go into Carbonite. I was like,
yeah,
bless your soul.
yeah. Bless you.
I
Like,
appreciate you. I appreciate you for
thank
that.
you for not hating me.
Right? I
Um,
don't have to try to fucking hunt down data in some fucking back alley fucking drive.
I'm saying, dude,
I hate that
like,
shit. Although ironically, that shit has become weirdly easy. Weirdly easy.
yeah.
I remember the first time I did data recovery, that shit was a mess.
Oh
It
yeah, yeah.
it spat out like no names, just like random characters .jpg. And you didn't know if that was a JPEG from the Windows directory or if that was from your
Right.
fucking from my documents. It was
Yep.
just random characters .jpg, random characters .gif for fucking ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, I'm restoring, 10 gigs of data. What is the data? I couldn't possibly answer that question until
Right.
it's transferred.
Fucking A, man.
This last one that I did, when I did the most recent time, it was like, would you like to restore the entire drive as it was organized with file names? I was like, yes, I would.
Yes, I would. Yes, please.
Oh,
Thank you.
it'll literally spit out the exact folder that I'm looking for with the exact file names. Oh
Yes,
yeah,
please.
we're gonna do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's 2021. Thank you for at least one tiny easy button.
Why would I say no?
Right.
Why would I say no?
It weirdly had the option of no, because there was a whole different way to restore it, and it was just like, again, random characters.jpg, and I was like, I don't want to sit through that. But then it was like, as it had like a different category of viewing the same data, and then I realized I was like, oh, it's documents, pictures. I was like, oh no, this is just the regular file structure. And I opened it, I was like, no, those are the real files. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, building out the business. That's kind of the biggest thing I want to work on next year. Being unemployed, I've filled out a bunch of apps. It's pretty much gone nowhere. So that's been an interesting, like I've had a few interviews and shit, but it's the shit that was the shit that felt like it should have been a gimme, like a easy,
Right.
became like the hardest shit because it's either how they describe it or it's like with this last one that I did, cool. It was not my kind of industry. Easily someone else could have been more qualified. Completely understood that one. Made sense. When I went to the computer repair job, they were trying to lowball me. They're like, oh, well, since you don't have component level experience, like we probably start you at like $15, $16 an hour. I was like, $15 an hour? It's not even practical for me to do that.
Oh no, yeah, no, without a doubt, man. I told when I was considering that other job with
Yeah.
in Anthony's work, I was just like, they were like, we started 15, and I was like, I don't, I wouldn't be here if that's what you told me. If that's what we're going to be talking about.
Right.
So, 15 ain't gonna do it.
That's all. She was like, well, what would you need? Like, we can keep you on file, like, and see if it's something we can do. I was like, to even consider it, I'd need 20.
Well, so that's the thing. So I originally told him myself, I said, I think I said 19 originally. But then I went back home after we talked, and I was like, I'm out of my mind. Like, that couldn't even possibly work. Like, where I'm at right now,
Yeah,
like,
you do the math. Like,
yeah, once I did the math again, I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry I wasted your time. I'm sorry I wasted my time, because that 19 number is not accurate. It would be 23. Like, 23 would be the number. And he was, and I'm like, and I completely understand if you can't do that, because I know you have people that are above you that would have to approve something like that. He's like, well, listen, it's not a no, but let me, and then obviously they got to a point where they just didn't have people, and they were like, they would do 23. But then with the current job, with the bonuses coming up and stuff like that, I was just like, I can't take the job right now. I'm like, I can't. Like,
you should have been like, I could take the job in January.
I know, right? And then I was like, and then also at the same time, I'm like, but there's too many perks, man. I work from home, on my lunch, on my breaks, I get to see my kid
That's
upstairs.
the thing, man. That's the thing.
During nice days out, I can literally go sit down in my backyard and take some fresh air in.
That is the thing, and that's the thing.
So it
That's the
wasn't
thing I was telling you for the longest time, man. Like, you would ask me, you don't want to do this. Why aren't you trying to do something else? And I was like, the perks are fucking too nice.
Well, but here's
and I've been looking at, and dude, I've been looking at remote shit too, and it's like remote shit. It gets weird. This shit is weird.
Right.
Like the way certain jobs do shit, the way the opportunities are weird. And then certain shit,
sure. Yeah,
shit. There was literally a position where I was like, this is what I wanted. This is like what I was doing, but it's a higher position with my 7 years of experience. I was like, this will be an easy sell.
Right.
And it's half the work that the supervisors were doing at, where I was working.
Yeah.
I was like, this is easy mode. I can do this in my sleep. This is it's literally what I want, what I was doing without all the extra hassle.
Yeah.
Like, it's telling people how to be more efficient, how to do their job better.
Yeah.
It's constant coaching and helping. And I was like, oh, this is the fucking job. Easy.
Yeah.
I go to apply and they're like, yeah, you have to take an actual fucking IQ test. You have 15 minutes. Here's 55 questions. Good fucking luck. And I was like, so like the first time I'm going through, I was like, this is weird. Got like halfway through. It was like 15 minutes are up. Because I'm like, I'm not thinking about like, oh, there's a time limit and I'm trying to rush it.
Right.
So then it was like, all right, do you want to go again? I was like, all right. Let me, stretch it out. All right, let's go again. And I'm busting through. I got through like, I think 40. And it's like, you are in the top like 16% of everyone that's answered. Like, you got like a 72%, which is like top 55% of all answers. And I was like, okay. It's like not good enough. You have to have an 80+%, which I'm like, well, the only way to get 80, you have to finish like most of the questions.
Yeah, you have to answer all.
And you have to either answer 80% of the questions
You have to,
perfectly,
yeah,
or
perfectly,
answer
or you
all
have
of them
all
and
of
only
them,
have a
and then you have
20%
yeah,
error.
yeah.
And I was like, this is insane. And I was like, all right, well, let me try a third
Crazy.
time. And it was like, no, you have to wait 6 months to try again. And I was like, I have the literal fucking qualifications for this job, but because this bullshit fucking test, I can't.
That's weird.
Go to hell.
That's weird.
And then like I had Erica try this fucking, because there's like a sample test like version of this test that you can take online somewhere.
Yeah.
I forget where it was. I sent it to her. I sent it to Andrew. I sent it to all these people. They gave me their numbers, and I was like, I scored better than all y'all motherfuckers. And now I tell you that even with my better score, I still couldn't have gotten that job.
That's crazy. Man. That's
And
crazy. Dude, give
let
me
me
that,
rephrase
give me
that.
that,
Let me
give me
rephrase
that.
that. It wasn't about getting the job. You have to score that high just
get the
to
interview.
apply.
Yeah. Oh,
Not
just
even to
apply.
get, not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
to get an
yeah,
interview, just to apply, to have the
Apply.
opportunity to
Yeah.
apply.
Yeah. Get on it, bitch.
I was like, motherfucker,
Get on it.
you.
Yeah, dude. That's yeah, it's hey man, some people want the listen, first of all, here's the thing. If you have to do that for that job, okay, and let's say you nail the 80%, fuck it. Let's say you nail all of it and you get the interview.
Mhm.
Bro,
Mhm.
I ace 100%. This is what I had to do to just apply. Come at me with the interview, be like, uh-huh. Oh, you want me? What was the did you tell me what pay I'm getting? 18? Oh no, man. We're at 50 right now. I 100% aced your shit.
No,
Bro.
it was a reasonable starting rate. It was like 50, it was like a 45 or 50 grand. And which honestly, for a supervisor position in that, in like tech supports, shit like that, like, well, yeah, that's like entry supervisor.
I was gonna
But
say,
sure.
not when I have to take a test. It ain't good enough.
Yeah. But if I like, man,
Not when you're
it's
putting
just,
me.
it's a lot of hoops, and it's a lot of shit that's written in certain ways where you're reading it's like the qualifications and you're like, no, I've never seen that software, so I guess I'm not qualified. Except they're just writing fucking buzzwords. You don't actually, like this last interview that I took, they wrote, what the fuck was it called? I think it's called DIE. What is DIE? Oh, DEI? DEI. I think it's no. EDI. EDI. Electronic data interchange. That was one of the fucking things in the description. And it was like, must have EDI experience. And I was like, what the fuck is EDI? So like, and Erica had sent me this. I yelled down to Erica. I was like, I don't fucking know what this is. I'm not qualified for this job.
Wait, hold on. Does that essentially, does that all that means is that you're doing shit via computer?
Bro, that's literally what it fucking means.
But they have to use shit like, is the electronic interchange of business information using standardized format process which allow. No,
Bro,
it's
can I tell you what the job was?
Can you use a computer?
Can I tell you what the job was? To make sure that orders were entered on time. I was like, I would have filled this out 2 weeks ago when I first looked at it, if I had known this was just a fucking order entry job.
Bro, man.
I was like, this isn't even like, you went through all these hoops to what exactly? Like, what was the purpose?
Nothing, man. The purpose was nothing. The
Because like
purpose
I
was
looked into it, and EDI, like they go into it, and there's like, it's part of it's like, it's basically like e-commerce, and it's like the ability to securely transmit data, and it's all this shit, right? And I was like, cool, all right. And then it's like because there's I forget where it was. There was a website where it like described EDI, but then it showed like what it is, and it
Right.
basically showed like the code of what an order would look like being transmitted. So I was
Right.
just showing this code, and I was like, I can't read this fucking code. Like, this is not in any like known language to me. And it's like explaining like the positions you would have, and like there's someone who knows how to read this code and can actually transmit this code. And I was like, this seems like stuff that people shouldn't be involved in because this seems like a lot of fucking room for error. Yeah, and it's not because this is literally the shit that happens in like e-commerce platforms. The platform handles all the fucking code. Like the person who would be reading that code might be like the troubleshooter for that platform. But like my job at that position would have literally been to like speak with a buyer at a company and be like, all right, yeah, yep, I do see that order here. It is in, is entered, is going to be shipping out tonight. Have a good day.
Yeah, man, that's fucking.
Not like reading code, not transmitting shit. No, fucking. And it's like you couldn't just tell me what the job was, bro.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, 100% fact. This is 100% fact. If you're a company and you're looking to hire people and you're looking to hire people for the easiest shit in the world, but you're using shit like EDI in your description and fucking crap like that just to make yourself sound fancy, you're an idiot. You're a moron, and all you're doing is nothing. You're doing nothing. Actually, if anything, you're probably doing your company a disservice because all you're gonna do is get people that like knows buzzwords, but they don't know jack squat about doing anything proper. Like it's stupid, man. I've looked at so many different uh job requirements that I laugh every time. I'm like, why use terminology like this to just ward off people?
Mm-hmm.
Why not make it
That's really
plain
what
and
it is.
fucking simple? Why not make it just real fucking plain and simple? Here's what you got to do. No fancy words, no fucking high vocabulary shit because it's not necessary. It's absolutely not necessary because, like you said, all that is buzzwords. It's buzzwords to make you look like you know you're looking for somebody that is, I guess, educated, which means nothing. I've seen plenty of educated people that have degrees and they don't know what the fuck to do in the business they just got hired for.
Mm-hmm.
Means nothing. All that means is that they memorized their vocabulary that they learned in a higher grade, and that they got a graduation. Doesn't mean they know how to run your business or what's right for your business. But hey, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. I Not my fucking problem, man. That's another reason why, not just because it's something that I really want to do, but which is obviously the main thing, but it's also another reason why I don't want to work for anybody else.
Right.
I want YouTube to be my
And
full-time thing
that's why, I want to build my shit out for next year.
because at the end of the day,
That's my shit.
w- whenever I do have enough, make enough money where I can have workers, uh, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna play that game. That ain't what this is about. That's not what's gonna happen, man. So yeah, man, it's fucking stupid shit, man.
Yep.
I fucking hate it, but oh well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. We're gonna push through, build our shit, do
Yeah,
it
man.
better and bigger than anybody else.
100%, 100%.
That's what's coming in 2022.
We just gotta gotta
Just do it. Just gotta
gotta
do it.
do it. Just gotta push through it. Yeah.
I want to say for those who are listening to this very short 30-minute podcast, that's how I was sold. That's how I was sold on this episode.
I was sold on that.
That's how I was sold on this episode.
It's I think 2 hours, isn't it? It's 2 hours, isn't it?
I think it is.
I think it's 2 hours. I thought it was supposed to be 30 minutes.
It was, yeah. This is your idea. You said 30 minutes. I was like, yeah, okay, make it 30 minutes.
Fuck.
If you are still listening, this is the 100th podcast.
But listen, it's probably still our shortest.
No, for sure not. 100th podcast. If you're still listening, if you're still watching, hit us up in the Facebook and or YouTube and or not YouTube. There's no DMs on YouTube. Facebook and or Instagram DMs, and I will send you $10 for Amazon.
Has anybody done that yet?
No, which just means no one's listening. But we're on Anchor now, so maybe shit'll be different.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll be different, but
Maybe shit'll be different.
you've
And
offered you've
and
offered a $10 gift card for Amazon
and
for a while now.
and starting next year, which is in like whatever 2 weeks after this comes out,
True that. It is about to
we're gonna be going live on Facebook, folks.
live on, even though there's a
Which
massive
means
delay.
which there's a huge delay. So I'm
Huge,
gonna try to come up with some ways to mitigate that. But
massive
we're gonna
delay.
try to have a little bit more of a format. I think we're gonna need to cut it to like a time
We do got to cut it to a time. We just
because I
tend to
think
go off.
yeah we
into
just go
tangents.
off. We just go off. So cut it for time. Try to do a little more of a format. But hey, if Joe Rogan didn't have a name for his podcast until episode 100, we didn't have to have a format until episode 101.
I wouldn't say all that.
That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
We'll see you in the next one.